Welcome to your online classes. Hope you all have done well in your half yearly examination, and we are going to continue the annual portion. So let us start with chapter 6 in English first. The name of the chapter is The Never Ending Story. The title says that we are going to read about a story which has no ending. The never ending story. So let us start. As you can see over the slide here, picture of some people and some statements are written, some sentences are given. Let us read the sentences given. Emperor Akbar was a wise ruler. I hope you all might have heard the name of the King Akbar. King is also known as Emperor. Emperor Akbar was a wise ruler. Wise means clever. Akbar was a wise ruler. He was called Akbar the Great. King Akbar was also known as Akbar the Great. The people of his kingdom loved and respected him. He was respected and loved by the people of his kingdom. Now let us look at the picture and talk about why the emperor was liked by the people. Every individual, every person created by God has a unique feature. Likewise, Akbar also had some specialities, some unique features. So he was liked by the people. Let us see the first thing what he had, which quality he had, was the emperor loves a good joke. He is good at solving riddles. The emperor was good at solving riddles. He loves music. He listens to Tansin sing every evening. And the Emperor Akbar, he loved to listen music. Third point is he respects other religions. He not only loved the music, but he also has a regard, has a respect for other religions too. He has respect for learned men. He also appreciated, he also respected learned people. And the last thing is he likes horse riding. The king also loved to ride horse. These are the special qualities. These were the special qualities which the king had within himself. Now let us start the story. Turn the page. Once Akbar fell ill. His hakims came to see him. Hakims means doctors. And let us know about the characters. Hakim 1, Hakim 2, Akbar, storyteller and Birbal. These are the characters involved in this story. So let us see what is the conversation going on between these people. First of all, let us start with Hakim 1. The first Hakim. What is he saying? Your Majesty, please take this medicine 3 times a day. Whenever a person falls ill or he or she is sick, the doctors advise or prescribe some sort of medicines for a duration of time. So the first Hakim also suggested the king to have medicine, to take medicine thrice a day, 3 times a day. Now the second Hakim said, "Sir, you will need to rest in bed for a few days." Second Hakim said to Akbar that, "Sir, you must rest for a few days." Akbar, "I don't mind bitter medicines, but I hate staying in bed." Akbar replied that, "I don't have objection in taking bitter medicines, but I hate staying in bed. It's a very tough job for me." Hakim first, again he said, "But sir, it is important for you to rest." The first Hakim said Akbar that rest is must for you, sir. If you want to recover, you have to take proper rest. We will stand outside your door to make sure no one disturbs you for at least 2 days. Again the Hakim said that we all will stand outside your door and will make sure that no one disturbs you for at least 2 days, and you have to rest for 2 days. What happened next? Just 1 day later, Akbar said, "I am so bored. I have nothing to do. I can't eat. I can't sleep at night." When Akbar told his problem that he is feeling bored because he has nothing to do and he is not feeling hungry also, he can't eat, he can't sleep at night, the Hakims were worried. Hakim 1, "We have to do something." The first Hakim said, "We have to do something for the king. His Majesty is not eating well, because our king is not eating. He is not sleeping well. He is not eating, he is not sleeping. So this is not good for his health. If he doesn't take proper rest, if he doesn't take proper food, then it can injure his health. It is not good for his health." Hakim 2, "Yes, we have to cheer him up. I know. Someone should tell him a story every night to help him sleep." The second Hakim suggested that we all must cheer him up, and some of us should tell him a story every night so that he can sleep. Now children, turn the page. At first the plan worked well. As the Hakims suggested, the plan worked well for a few days. Akbar enjoyed listening to stories. Akbar also enjoyed listening to stories. But then he began to get upset when they ended. And now slowly Akbar began to get upset when the stories ended. "Akbar, what happened next? Tell me." Akbar asked a question. Akbar put up a question. "What happened next? Tell me." The storyteller. "The story has ended, Your Majesty." The storyteller said that the story has ended. There is nothing more. Akbar, "So soon? Tell me more, otherwise I will be bored again. I can't sleep if I am bored." Now Akbar requested the storyteller to tell him something more, or he will get bored and cannot sleep further. Hakim 2 told, "It is so difficult to find people to tell him stories. No one knows stories that do not end." Now it created a problem that it is so difficult to find people to tell stories, and no one knows a story that do not end. Hakim first, what shall we do then? Hakim first said, what shall we do? Everyone is afraid to face the emperor. He gets so angry when the stories end. The first Hakim said that everyone is afraid to face the emperor. Everyone is afraid to face the king because he gets angry when the stories end up. Hakim second, it is a difficult situation. I know of only one person who can handle this problem. The second Hakim had a solution. He told that he knew a person and the only person who can handle this problem. And the person was only Birbal. Only Birbal can find a solution. Birbal was a wise man in the courtyard of the king Akbar. And everyone suggested that only Birbal can find out a solution to this problem. Now Hakim first, oh yes, Birbal is the cleverest of the emperor's ministers. Who was Birbal? Birbal was the cleverest of all the ministers present in the emperor's courtyard, in the emperor's court. I am sure he will find a way. His Majesty is also very fond of him. Let us request him to come. Now the first Hakim suggested that the Majesty is very fond of him. He loves the company of Birbal. And let us request Birbal to come over here and find a solution for this problem. That evening Birbal went to Akbar and started his story. Birbal was called and he came near Akbar and he started his story. Birbal, there was a huge peepal tree in a jungle. It was 100 years old. Birbal said there was a huge peepal tree in a jungle and that peepal tree was 100 years old. It was very big and many birds lived in it. The peepal tree was very big and many birds lived in it. Akbar, what happened then? Akbar asked. What happened next? Birbal said, the birds made their nest in it. The tree had many branches. Baby birds were safe in their nest. Every morning the birds flew out to look for food. Birbal started the story. He said that the birds made their nest in the tree. The tree had many branches. Baby birds were safe in their nest. Every morning, the mother bird, the father bird, they flew out to look for food. Again Akbar said, how many birds were there? Akbar asked Birbal, can you say me how many birds were there on that peepal tree? Birbal, 500. Birbal said there were 500 birds on that tree. In the morning, one bird flew out. He said, in the morning, one bird flew out. Furr. Akbar, turn the page. Children, turn the page. Let us see what was the end of the story. Akbar, then Birbal. Then the second bird flew out. Furr. Again Birbal said the second bird also flew out. Furr. Akbar, what next? The third bird flew. Furr. Akbar, what happened after that? The fourth bird flew away. Furr. Akbar, oh Birbal, how many more birds? Birbal, my king, there are 496 birds left. So then the fifth bird flew away for Akbar said, "Stop that. Tell me what happened after they all flew away." Akbar, after hearing the story when the fifth bird flew away, he said, "Birbal, stop that and tell me what happened after they all flew away." Birbal, "How can I do that?" Birbal said, "How can I do that? 500 birds flew away every morning. Fur, fur, fur. It takes very long. Then they come back one by one. Then they feed their babies. Then they fly out again and come back to rest in the evening. How can I tell you what happened after they all flew away? Though those birds never stop flying. Fur, fur, fur." Akbar had no answer to that. He realized that it was silly of him to ask for a story that did not end. He stopped asking for stories and soon got well again. After listening the story, Akbar had no answer to that, and he realized that it was silly of him to ask for a story which had no end. He stopped asking for stories and soon he got well again. Now, children, listen to this presentation and try to solve your exercises related to this chapter given in your book. Thank you.